What is up guys, it's Jack here back again today with a brand new video for you guys, and today I'm going to show you guys how to take your pictures on your iPhone from looking like this to looking like this. So today is another app of the week for you guys. This one is called Snapseed, and it's the thing that I use for editing almost all my pictures on my iPhone, and pretty much almost any picture that I take that I want to like really make more colors pop and things just look a lot better on it, to like change the tones and other things like that. So let's hop right into this app of the week called Snapseed. Alright, so the first thing I do to my pictures when I go into this app is I click the little edit arrow on the bottom right corner, and then I will go to the little section called HDRscape. What this does is this makes things a lot more sharp, and there's different options on the bottom for nature, people, fine, and strong. I just use the ones for nature, and people for people. Fine and strong just are a little bit different, and fine is like not as hard on the filters, while strong is really hard on the filters depending on how sharp you want your images to look. You can also slide the bar from left to right and then up and down to change either filter strength, brightness, or saturation. In every other setting there's also other components to these that you can edit your photos with, and that's why I like Snapseed so much. It's also free, so it's a great editing software for any beginners out there that are looking to edit their pictures and really step up their game in photo quality for posting like to Instagram or Twitter or any other social media out there. So for filter strength, for HDR, I usually try to keep it below 60, because if you just go above 60 it looks a little too ridiculous. But then the next thing I do after that is I usually bump down the brightness to make it look a little bit more real. And then the saturation sometimes gets bumped up or bumped down depending on how the picture looks. For this one, I just bumped it up a little bit, and then I just checked it on the bottom. After you do that, changes will apply to it. The next thing I tend to do after doing that is going to tune image and just tuning either the brightness, contrast, saturation. Ambience is kind of a cool little tool. This one can like really make all of your colors pop without making it too saturated like what it would with saturation. Ambience is still a little bit hard to describe, but that's like a tool that I really like to use. It makes colors pop without it being like too overwhelming. Highlights is also on there, shadows and warmth, so that's just a great tool to use to just like doing the little details and things like that. So I do that after I'm done with HDRscaping. Then after I do that, I'll go into details and mess with the structure and the sharpening settings. That just pretty much shows you how grainy a photo will be or how not grainy it will be when you turn it out. I don't ever really touch crop. Rotate depends on what picture that I'm using. White balance is a new effect that they put in here, and this is where you can like choose your white balance for the picture after you shot it, which is pretty nice, so you don't have to deal with that. If you have the wrong white balance in the picture, you can always just change it. You can do auto white balance to like for the picture to white balance itself. Sometimes it looks better, sometimes it doesn't. I typically don't use it because I usually tend to take the picture right the first time I take it. The other one that I kind of have used is the selective tool, and what you can do is you can add a little bubble, and in the specific area that you put it, what it'll do is it'll change either like the brightness or the contrast or the saturation in that one specific area that you've selected. And that's kind of a cool little feature that I've never seen in any other like editing apps that I've ever seen. And then the vignette, what that does is it gives like the little it's kind of a lens blur type thing where it's kind of like black background. You can change the outer brightness and the inner brightness to make sure that looks different and things like that as well. Then you can add text to the photo as well, like you would on like Snapchat or something. You just add it wherever, and there's a ton of different fonts that they come with it for free. Change the color and other things like that if you want to add font or text to your images. And then the filters below, I already went over HDRscape, but I'll just quickly go over the other ones that are in here, because they're all pretty great for any other situation of like photos that you want to like edit or use. So the lens blur one, I tend to use that one sometimes when I'm focusing on like an object, like a car or something. I'll like just focus on the car and just make it look a lot more like centered in the picture, which will look cool. I've never used glamour glow, so I don't know what that is. Tonal contrast has to do with your mids, your lows, and your highs for photos, so you can always mess with that. Grunge and drama I don't use too often. The vintage look is kind of the same as the vignette, but it gives it like a little different effect on the photo, and I think it's kind of cool because you can choose different colors, different presets for that as well, which is kind of nice. Noir I don't use too often, or Tulux I don't use that often either. Pretty much most of the bottom ones I don't use besides HDRscape and lens blur and sometimes tonal contrast. But they're all great options to have just in case you want to try messing around with that to make your pictures different. So I think that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you leave a like on this video if you guys did like it. And comment down below maybe other apps or other products I can maybe review for my channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.